Hi everyone, welcome to this new video about Matomo Tag Manager. So thanks to Nick, I received a new comment today, which is the following one. Okay, so here clearly his need is how can I register with Matomo Tag Manager when a contact form submit button is clicked, when a picture is clicked, and to be honest, I'm not even sure what Tag Manager can accomplish and what kind of data it's able to gather. So what I will do here is that I will first of all answer to this question, which to me is the most important of all the comment here. And this is about, let's say, what kind of data does Matomo Tag Manager can collect. Okay, this is very important. So first of all, I'm going to talk a bit about what Matomo can do. Actually, when you go within Matomo, at some point, when you go on some specific report, such as I'm just going to take the one regarding the user, for example, you will see this information, right, telling you there is no data for this report. And that's one part of the equation here. So here what they are saying is, so of course, maybe you have no data at all for this report, but it also means that actually there are good chances that there is a feature that you have not set it up yet within Matomo, and then no data can be pushed out to the system. So in terms of data that you can gather and that you can push to Matomo Analytics, there are many of them, right? There are even some which are not listed here because they need you to install plugins through the admin panel. But just to let you know that anytime that you're going to see an information such as this one, it probably means that actually a feature is not activated or is not just used by your tracking code and is not sending any data. So thanks to Matomo Tag Manager, actually it's going to be easy to fire those specific feature and to populate actually all those reports with those data. It's sometimes a bit complicated for new users to understand what are all the possibilities offered by Matomo Analytics, because by default, when you set Matomo up, it's just collecting, let's say, the fact that a page has been viewed and as well that actually some clicks has been made on some specific elements. In order to have a clear view about how powerful is Matomo, you need to go within the JavaScript tracking client guide. So you may be a bit scared if you are not a developer because that's a lot of information. But basically what you need to understand here is that each of those lines of code which are listed here are the possibility to send some data within one of those reports. Okay, so here I picked up the user ID, but it could have been as well, I don't know, like the events, for example. Here there is some interaction, but normally that should not be the case. For example, if I go on this, okay, there is no information here because it needs one additional lines of code and so on and so forth. So every time that you are saying something like there's no data in this report, that's because an additional line of code should have been added to your tracking code. So as you can see, there are many of them. And in order for you to understand a little bit how you can use those lines of code, then you will need to have a look as well to the JavaScript tracking client user guide. So it's like 2 pages of documentation. This one, which is listing all the different features, and this one, which is explaining you a bit more about how to implement those features within the tracking code. By chance, with Matomo Tag Manager, you do not need actually to copy and paste all those lines of code directly within your source code. Thanks to Matomo Tag Manager, you can create custom HTML tag or either use the Matomo configuration template in order to fire them up. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make about what are all the data that I can send to Matomo Tag Manager. Actually, all of the data as we're going to see in a minute, but also just to let you know that you will need to use some extra feature, which are the one which are all listed here and which are here since ages and are here in order really to take the most out of Matomo Analytics. Okay, so that was, let's say, the first point I wanted to make about the question that Nick asked us. in order to answer to the second part of his question, what kind of data can you grab with Matomo Tag Manager? Well, first of all, with Matomo Tag Manager, you can grab any data which are on the page, actually. So in order to illustrate this, I'm just going to go within this forum post. And here I have James, and James asked a question about how to track YouTube videos. Okay, so his question is legitimate. So how can I track that with Matomo Tag Manager? So here's a web page, and on this web page, as you can see, there are many data. Okay, so with Matomo Tag Manager, let's say by using it simply, so which means that just by copying and pasting a couple of lines of code in JavaScript, or just by using the templates already given by Matomo Tag Manager, you can grab any data which are within what we call the DOM element, so within this full page. Okay, it can be either this word here or the fact that actually I just underline this word with my mouse because the interaction is happening on the browser and on this website. It could also be, I don't know if it's a H2 or H1 here, but that's definitely something I could also grab. So yeah, so this one is a H3, so I could grab the H3 element, everything which is on the page, okay? Everything, every interaction, the fact that I'm scrolling, the fact that I'm going to click on this blank space here, the fact that, yeah, I'm going to double click here. I mean, every interaction, the fact that I'm going to enter a search query here, any of those interactions, the fact that I'm going to hover my mouse over this specific element, all of this, you can track it very easily with Matomo Tag Manager. Okay, there's no issue here. The challenge are going to happen when the interaction is not happening on the page. So, for example, let's say that you want to insert within Matomo Tag Manager the weather, for example, the weather of the visitor which is visiting this web page is going to be a bit of a challenge because it means that actually you're going to have to discuss with an API which does not belong to this web page in order to grab the temperature, maybe cross it with the location of the user, and then be able to send this out to the what we call the data layer of Matomo Tag Manager in order after that to push that to Matomo Analytics. Same thing is going to happen for the videos, for example, here. Those videos, if I remember well, so I'm just going to do something like this. Yeah, okay, overlay, media. Okay, this one is not a good example. I'm going to take those one, right? Those are YouTube videos. And if I just click here, I will see that actually it's I get it back. Okay. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? HTML5. Okay. I cannot find it here, but unless I'm blind. But the point that I wanted to make is when you have some videos like this, they are embedded with what we call an iframe, which means that actually this is a website which is inserted within another website. And it means that actually when you will interact with this part, okay, the interaction is not going to happen on the web page that you are currently viewing, but on another website, which means for that you need to add additional tracking code, and that actually you need to communicate with the API, so in this case with the API of YouTube, in order to get back the interaction that you had on the YouTube website. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make, that with Matomo Tag Manager, you can grab any data which is located on the page, but for information for data which are not on the page is going to be a bit harder because you need to discuss with API, and unless actually copying and pasting content from developer community forum and stuff, if you are not a developer, you're going to really have a hard time in order to write this code. Okay, so that was in order to answer to the last part of the question of Nick. And now let's go to the first two questions that he asked, which were very interesting as well. So this one is the one that the contact form submit button. And this one is very interesting because this is one of the biggest frustration point when you have a website, and on this website, for example, you have some forms, and when the form is sent, actually the URL of the form is exactly the same as the one that the form has been, let's say, filled in. And that's problematic because you never know when a contact form has been properly sent. So in order to do so, what you need is a contact form. So I don't have any actually on my website. I should have think about this before. But I'm just going to show you the feature then, unless this is a form, and maybe I could cheat a little bit here. So let's click if, yeah, search field, blah, blah, blah. And is it a form? Yes, that's a form. Okay, so I do not have a contact form right now on my website, but this is a search form. So I guess it's going to work exactly the same way as a contact form. Okay. The reason why you do not want actually to track when someone's going to click on the button of the form is that actually in some cases people may actually have filled the form the wrong way. Okay, so this means, for example, they didn't insert their first name, and as they didn't inserted their first name, then actually the form is not sent. Then it's going to be recorded as a hit, and whereas actually that's not the case. So a proper way to do that is actually to use a trigger, which is not the fact that someone click on the button, but the fact that actually a form has been sent. And by chance, Matomo has exactly this feature. So I'm going to track that out. So I'm going to go within Tag Manager and decide to create a tag, which will be a contact form. So let's go for it. I'm going to say, okay, Matomo Analytics. I'm going to call it Matomo Analytics contact form send. So always use a name which is describing very well what the tag is doing. So it's going to keep the same Matomo configuration. It's going to be an event. So in my case, that's going to be a contact form action confirmation sent, or something like properly sent. I mean, you are free to put whatever you want, but that's just here. Here, event name, I'm just going to put form, whereas actually I should rather use a variable in order to just grab this specific form. I mean, all the forms in general, and dynamically fill this filled in. But I'm not going to do it in this example. I will probably shot another video in order to explain how to do stuff with contact form, because that's a big topic. So here, yeah, I could definitely say when someone's going to click on the button of the form, but I'm not going to take this one out. I'm just going to take form submit, because that's great. So it's every time that a form is going to be sent, then I'm going to fire this trigger specifically. So just created the trigger, and now let's create this tag. And as usual, so I'm gonna just disable this. I'm gonna publish my version, and I'm gonna debug now. So okay, I did it. That's great. And let's now. I wanted to publish, and I got it wrong. So anyway, okay. So in any case, let's publish. So I'm going to say contact form version. And let's publish it. As usual, I should not do that, but in my case, there's no risk for me to break anything because I'm playing locally here. So okay, so it's published. I'm just gonna take this out, go to my website, move to the debug mode, and here I am. Okay, so I'm on the page. Nothing has been executed yet. Okay, but if I fire actually this form, then something's gonna happen. So let's fire it. Here in my case, actually the condition is filled, whatever I'm gonna insert it. So even if I send the search with a blank empty field here, it's gonna be a send form anyway. So just gonna click here, And well, actually, we did not see the thing, so I'm just gonna do it this way now. Okay, so I should have actually pressed the control key in order to open it in another tab and see the tag firing here if I'm lucky. So I just, whoa, I did it wrong again. Okay, I did it wrong, so sorry for that. Okay, let's have the preview again. So now we have the preview. And what I will do is I'm going to open it. Oh, I cannot, damn it. Okay, so unfortunately I cannot debug this one, but I wish it works. Let's see within the dashboard if we got actually a form which has been properly sent when it was it. So let's go right here and let's look at our visitor and let's prepare. So actually from the next one, the next question of Nick, I'm going to click on this image. But let's go back now to my visitor log, and normally I should see the event which have been fired twice. And as you can see, I'm on 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm on 20 seconds. So contact form properly sent, contact form properly sent, and that's it. So it works out. The two times that I sent actually the form, it worked. And the reason why I could not see it within the debug mode is because when I was clicking on it, then it was refreshing the page and going to another page. So that's the reason why I could not see it, and the fact that I could not open it in another tab. But if it would have not been the case, actually, I would have the possibility to see it. So in any case, it works, and I'm happy. Okay, so that's the thing regarding how to track actually contact form with Matomo Analytics. So now let's see the question of Nick, which is about how to track the fact that someone clicked on a picture. Okay, so in order to do so, it's kind of easy. Actually, you just need here to look at what is the picture that you would like to investigate. So in my case, that's an image, and then you need to pick up actually what are the characteristics of this image. So as for the tracking the form, you are free to choose either if it's the fact that the form has been sent or the fact that someone clicked on an element. Here you are free actually regarding the image to decide when you want actually the trigger to be executed. So for example, in my case, I could basically say when the class equals avatar, or even when the source of the image equals this, or when the source set equal this. Actually, I'm a bit free here to do whatever I want. I could also probably play on this one, even if it's going to include actually the name John. You are very free to use whatever you want. In my case, I'm going to use the class of the image, as I think it's the easiest one. I may be wrong and may not make it work properly, but let's give it a try. So I want a tag to be triggered. I want a tag to be triggered when someone's click on an element of the page which has as a class the value avatar space avatar 49. So that's the point. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new tag, which okay, great. Which once more it's you decide. So it's gonna be Matomo Analytics image click event. It's going to be the same Matomo configuration. I'm going to send it as an event. I'm going to say, okay, what is the category? The category is image, and the action is, I don't know, image as well, and image. Actually, I should not do that, but I'm just doing it for the example. Here, the most important part is really the trigger. So let's create a trigger now, and now we're going to say, okay, when do I want this to be triggered? When some elements are clicked. So image is blah blah. Okay, and I want it to react when there is a click which is made on a class and where the class equals avatar nanani nanana. Okay, that's the whole point here. This is what we are interested in, is I want my tag to be fired when there's a click which is made on an element of the page, okay, which contained a class on each I click of an element which equals this part. And then it should work out because I know it just makes sense. Actually, I'm going to click on an element which has this class, then fire the tag, which will be an event equal to image, 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 image. So let's create the tag. Here we are a bit more lucky because as I saw, actually, when you click on the image, nothing is happening on my website. So we should see this tag working straight away. So, okay, so that's good, that's good, that's good. So I'm publishing it. Image version, blah, blah, blah. And okay, then we can go back here and refresh. So no event is executed. That's normal. But if I click here, normally I should see my tag firing up. So, wow, see, it works. So, of course, if I'm clicking like 12 times on it, it will fire actually 12 times the events that I wanted. So, let's go back now on my dashboard. And if I'm lucky enough, I should see actually 12 actions which have been fired due to the triggers, which was about an element which is clicked and which has for class the avatar space avatar 49. So let's see. Let's go within the visitor log. And let's pick up the date of today. Yeah, okay, so here you can see that I got 12 times, okay, the event. I think it will be more, yeah, click to view all the action, yeah, image, image, image. So when you see this structure, it means that it has been an event, and yeah, of course, it fired 12 times. So once more, thanks Nick for your valuable feedback. Do not hesitate, as Nick or even Nick, if you are still available for it, do not hesitate to post me any comment, any additional things you would like me to show about Matomo Tag Manager. It's true that actually in this video I did not show you uh, what are the blueprints, let's say, of Matomo. So for example, I was here publishing straight away, whereas actually I should have structured it in a better way. So do not hesitate to ask me for a new tutorial. It can be about project management in Tag Manager. It can be also about some specific tags you would like to see. Do not hesitate, and I will do my best in order to make a tutorial for that. Thank you for watching, and hope to talk to you soon.